Hey YouTube. So basically I wanted to create this video because I did share one previously about this Lenovo Carbon X1 that I ended up getting a whole bunch of. Now essentially I get some supplies of these laptop Lenovos and they all have bad SSD ports, they all have bad SSD boards on them. They still run, and some of them have such huge amount of RAM that you do not want to just toss out the board or whatever. And then it costs so much to have the boards repaired. So essentially I came across this as for running Windows to go on these units, and so far clients have been okay with it and they've wanted to not pay for the repairs or so the Windows to Go has been a very good substitute for them. They seem to run very well for them. And so essentially I made that last video with the X1 Lenovo. Now the easiest way I found was this software that's called AOMEI, Partition Assistance Professional Edition. Okay, and the version I have is a 9.7.0. Now the first thing you're going to need is a ISO file. Now you can get that from a disk or you can download that, like I actually got it from my disk or so, and you download that to your desktop. The second thing you're going to need is a small 3.0 flash drive, and I would suggest anywhere from 64 all the way up to 128 depending on what size you want to use. And essentially this one right here was a 64 that I was going to put in it. So first thing you do is run this software, and like I said, you go over here and it's called Windows to Go Creator, okay, and you're going to click on that, and then it's going to bring up this prompt menu, okay, and they said create Windows to Go for personal computer, create Windows to Go for a Mac computer, so it will also run it on the Mac. Okay, so what you're going to do is create Windows to Go, and it says create Windows to Go with system disk ISO. That's what you're going to need. And then please select a Windows installation file. If there is no such file, please click the download. So I assume if you click this download, it'll give you a link to an ISO, and then you can go from there. Alright, so I already have the ISO on my desktop, as you can see. So I'm going to select it, and it's Windows 10. Alright, and then you're going to click next. Now it's going to ask you where you want to install it. So I'm going to put this in. And then it's going to, and here it is right there, SanDisk Ultra 3.0. Now this is the 64. And then we're going to hit proceed. And this operation will erase all data on the USB drive. Are you sure you want to continue? You're going to hit next. Now it's going to create your Windows to Go. Alright, now just be patient. It will take a minute, and it all depends, of course, how fast your PC runs. This one right here is my diagnostic PC I use for all kinds of different things. So it only has, I believe, 4 gigs of RAM, so if you have more than that, it will probably process faster, of course. So then we'll wait until it completes, and then we'll give it a go. Okay, so obviously it took a minute for it to finish, and then Windows to Go has created successfully, and so we're going to go ahead and X that out. Now the next thing you're of course going to need is, let's see, once this loads, okay, now you can see right here it's already got the D, it's already partitioned it, everything. Alright, now next thing you're going to need is the PC that is either bad SSD or bad SATA. This one right here actually has a bad SATA connector. So when you actually turn it on, this is what it will look like. And then obviously you have a similar problem. And see, now it starts up everything normally. And I believe this one has, 6 gigs of RAM. And then it will go into boot, and then nothing. And then here it is, media test failure, check cable, and then when you check the cable, obviously Windows Boot Manager and everything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this one into here because we already know that the slot is bad. Okay. And then we'll go into Boot Manager. All right. Okay. And we're going to... Now, Windows failed to start. A recent hardware or software change might be the cause. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and we're going to restart the PC. Okay. Now, after you have it booted in, you're going to choose a temporary boot device. Okay, so then we're going to hit F12. Now, here it is right here. Now you're going to select this USB HDD SanDisk Ultra USB, and then we're going to hit enter. There you go. And that's how you create easy Windows to go. Now, so far, some of these, some of the customers were wanting smaller dongle looking Windows to go USBs. Some of them did not want some that stick out so far, as you can see out the side right here. So they make the real small looking USBs. But of course it's going to take a minute. It does operate a little bit slower, of course, than having the Windows on the hard drive itself, but it does everything essentially from what our customers have informed us. And then getting ready, device is ready. Now, like in the beginning, when you first get the ISO, make sure you get the correct ISO for your unit. Make sure it's 32-bit, 64-bit, and then whatever operating system Windows you want. If you want 7, 10, 11, that kind of thing. Now, I have not tried it with 11, but I have tried it with 7, and I have tried it with 11. I have not tried it with 8. Now, once it actually does this the first time, it does boot up quicker after this. It's just, it takes a minute, I guess, to install the drivers, make sure everything's working okay with it. Now, like when you created the ISO, just be patient. This is pretty much similar. Doesn't take as long as creating the actual Windows to Go, but okay, cut a lot of this out and then just come back when it's done.
Hi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do.
So, we are back.
Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards the bottom of your screen. If you need an assistive screen reader, press the Windows, Control, and Enter keys at the same time to turn on narrator. Okay, enough intro. Let's dig in.
Okay, so as you know, it did take a minute for it to actually go into, and we're going to go ahead and turn her off. Now the first boot will take a minute, of course, but when it actually starts, I'll go ahead and skip. And then of course it finds the connection. Let me go ahead and skip that for now. And then connect with limited setup. And then we're going to go ahead and name this. We're not going to worry about a password. And then we're going to go ahead and turn a lot of this off for now. And then of course you can decide whatever settings you want, and when you first start up, of course. Okay, so here you are. Now you're into Windows 10, and everything loads. Now let's go ahead and see how fast everything loads. Let's go into PC, and there you go. And then you can see it actually runs off. Then we'll go into settings. Let's go into settings real quick. And we'll go into system. And there you go. This machine, 2.3 gigahertz, and it's got 6 gigs of RAM. And as you saw, it did have a 64 gig off the chip, and it runs pretty quick, just even without the hard drive and running off the USB 3.0. All right, well there you go. And if hopefully this helps someone how to create Windows to Go. And if you have issues or so, that is the easiest way that I found out how to create one. I hope this helped everyone. Take care.